This is Robin Sapp, FTH 202, week 2. So let's get into it. Alright, first off, let's clear the chamber. Nothing in it. Let's do it this way. Nothing on my workspace. Okay. Excuse me. It's good to go. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do, remove this grip, and then take off the side plate. So I'll cut back in. Alright, I got the grip off. And now I'm going to go take the plate off, and I'll be right back. I'm going to take these 3 screws out here. Alright, now I got all the screws out. Now we're going to proper way to remove the side things by hitting the metal frame, not the metal, the grip frame that pops off. And there she goes. And she's off. Alright, so now let's go over some stuff here. You got your hammer spring, and your trigger spring. Alright, and then this here is your transfer bar, which in the cycle operations it directly has to do with firing. The transfer bar directs the energy of the hammer, which is right here, right, to impact the firing pin. Also right here, you got your hammer spring, but you have your what the hell is it called? Your mainspring center punch or center pin, or the hammer struck, which is indirectly responsible for the cocking and firing. And you got your hand here, which is directly the chambering and locking, and indirectly for the cocking. Hand engages the ratchet on the back side of the cylinder when the hammer is cocked. Alright, and you got the trigger spring, but it's also part of the trigger spring assembly, which is the cycle operation role, is indirectly has to do with the cocking and firing. The trigger spring assembly is used to reset the trigger back to the resting position. Alright, right here you got your double action sear, which when you pull it, it pulls the hammer back, and then when you get to a certain point, it disengages and lets the hammer fall. And as you can see the transfer bar move up to where the firing pin is, and the hammer drops and hits the firing pin to fire the round. You also got the main spring support, which is indirectly involved in the cocking and firing. It supports providing a backing for the mainspring to work against. And this is the grip. Goes there. There's no role in the cycle of operations. Alright, now you got the cylinder, which is directly has to deal with the feeding, chambering, locking, unlocking, extracting, and injecting. This indirectly with the cocking may be impeded if the hands cannot rotate the cylinder. And it holds the ammunition. And then you got your trigger here, which is directly have to do with the cocking and firing. And this is the pivot point here that it pivots around. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and take this apart and get back to you. Alright, I got this thing all apart here. Alright, I got the frame here. and which I take the barrel or the front side off. But all right, let's see what we got here. All right, we got the mainspring um, center pin, also known as the hammer strut, and then we got the main spring here. All right, so and then we got this is called. Hang on, I know what it's called. Don't tell me. Okay, this here is the. Hang on, sorry. This is the bolt. This is the bolt spring, and the thumb piece that goes to the bolt. All right, and then we got this thing here. That is this is the hand, which directly has to do with the chambering and locking. And then, all right, so this is the hand here. The hand engages the ratchet on the back side of the cylinder when the hammer is cocked. And these here, all right, this here is the hand plunger and spring. And it indirectly has to do with the feeding and chambering, locking and unlocking. All right, now we got the trigger. The trigger has to do with the cocking and firing. And then next to it, that's still hooked up to it, is the transfer bar, which has to do directly with firing. And then we got the hammer with the double action sear. Whoops, sorry. With the double action sear and the trigger. We got the plunger and the screw for. This is a side plate screw and detent. There's no active roll in the COO. You got the other two screws here. Then you got the side plate. You got the roll pin for the grip. You got, let's see here. You got the chamber or the cylinder, and you got the yoke, the extractor, plunger. All right, over here you got the cylinder stop here. The cylinder stop, which directly has to do with locking and indirectly with the chambering. All right, did I cover everything? I think I did. Oh, so I'm sorry. We got the firing pin head, and let's just call this the fire pin assembly here. All right, this directly has to do with firing. All right, so I think that's it now. Time to put it back together. All right, got it all back together. See, it's unloaded. Let's see here. There you go. Unload it. Nothing in it. And it's all back together. I hope I did this